supposed to be. And Kaujan Hobe between 3 and 6 months now.
We the brew here.
Ujan Hobe 3-6 months now. Baby, to now. No, I correct side defects.
Then you do the second.
No, the second.
I think it's time for them to do that. Time Emrenasu.
Honorable Clement Wilkinson. I know me watching. Oshame Bob. Mamino. Clement Mamino Casaba in Kainidi.
Mammy, if in the foreman, I mean, and Abby, and I know me, catch your madam say, a time last soon. Say, Ombe Niakan.
How is your
and I'll cry me here? Offer. Okay, would there many Abby wedding come more after this show?
I told them, Abby, Mammy, are you actually?
Now, you who say, wait, Triana. Then we can make further demands. But in Triana Cadia,
and ever shut down.
No, there be a will call on offer. Over Marquata, Yabeka.
You mean my former uncle?
Mr. I said, oh, yeah, I'm ex uncle. My uncle in active service, the team in change. But of Marquata, that's why I ex uncle.
Of Marquata, why me ex uncle. And
ex nephews, no.
Such a man across or in a former
and I make a cross or an ex uncle.
To your father, no about bray you.
Otherwise, ex nephews never do.
Because I am a crew number than any amount of there's a Fabra now, me drew obey ex offer and never catch it. Honorable Henry lawyer, Dr. Kokrokoo.
Kadna,
now what is it?
Kadna, one corner where Kadna Zuni diocese.
Maybe the universal diocese.
Who is that?
Or a cardinal at large.
Baby,
now, Papa.
Minimo.
A mother at large.
Edward Mahama. Or you know whom you pension into a general home.
Kadna.
Papa,
but a good, and then my pen and name of us. A good. Would you a horoscope? When you know, me some videos, but occasionally making kind a year and I'm confused. Me a Libra.
Okay.
October.
And me a Libra, but
we a Libra.
But me been on sa. Me okay. Me be as a Libra. I'm can't me the because me I'm Libra in thinking. That's what I'm saying.
No. Your sign. What's your?
Debbie. I hold you in call.
And now when you October born.
Debbie. How?
How can October for the Entina guy.
Entina won't say me.
My parish priest no October born, but then no crown my catch and say,
oh yes, son.
May I sure say they mistake with my baby. Because me share my parish priest at home. Me share na bra body in the Subaya on your October born.
Na bra body say.
Oh, calm.
Nanya sa nyi nyina za.
Why?
Oh, tie Kadna.
Go out to me
Kadna. Okay, we say the brother me ya kama. Ayi Dr. Mahmoud Baumie, Vice President. Alonso.
What's the trouble? Onye kam.
Maybe a 5th October. No, yes 7th October.
Dr. Baumia. Or you're quiet, but on your cam. Mammy Jechim, you're not about me. What take Paco Zemis at Oklahoma?
Oh, say no, I don't know on your cam.
Now, Paris priest, well, a preacher, a young one from August.
Whoa, but my own him. Opa, my Miss Akin Edward say. Many are kin Edward. I'm in cause of over my Miss Akin Edward. Over what Edward. Let me miss something. I may just say. Lawyer could go for me.
My baby, I can cackle. Why we have a fresh and fine? What we saw, he just said nothing. So, who's going now for freckles of what they are saying?
That be mentioned.
But Mammy can carry Kakrabi, horoscope, Libra. Also, you should feel happy. And enthusiastic today. Whatever you strive for should be successful.
Should be.
Whether it's job related or creative inspiration. Your dedication and organizing talent promises advancement.
Okay.
Just say you're good. Iti me ya na me hwe ayina horoscope no da common ye no na de no make
dan nya ne de
ene common ye ti Libra for your message no
oni about doctor we afiso mo ache
hey unfinished business o
sir
feed ye no enko me your life patron me your patron yeah and patron.
We are live patron. They are fans.
Okay. Me a patron.
Aye.
Nti afi no. Wo mu ba studio na me na baby. Nti I say make come ho.
Here pa.
Adok. Me ma wa che papa. Ne adwuma so a wo ye de boa o man.
Okay. Better must penny for that must pass it money and what that no pay. Auntie,
no.
I no pay and some titru me no a that me table so. O the park and kind pa minim. Obi anim article or them hand chame. I think
this only friends and
I think
Express.
Omo to tia me. Oya anko no ese me declare express.
Me to tia.
Omo to tia me. Omo ka won na me winning this presidency. We move.
Nana, your brother Charles Owusu.
Hey.
Okay. There Charles the
Reverend. I also made no finish.
Also a chair article in offer.
One chair me.
Also a chair article in offer.
And then offer. Reverend, you na mami hu.
And I no pay mami chia menua
Ba on Kranza North.
Yes, me chia menua Charles Owusu, menua Prekope.
Okay.
Oko Nkranza North. Ya kase kra ose onam kwanza Nkranza. Na me gidi say ose opese wotunu hu esi hose opese oboa Nkranza North for and me gidi say he would be a fantastic legislator for them. And me gidi so say Nkranza North for so imagine tum kama. I mean, it would be a delight to see him representing the people of Nkranza North in parliament. Yetani chi media dia na kojo ekan. Ozi dia. Onti kojo, are you saying say mi chiacha say bone? Kojo asema who can ye? You know.
Kojo mu dia Reverend ana.
Won unyon Reverend ho asem na miki. Ukura na nka say obetina ha edi ne ho adanse ye. Obisa mi say na miki metua. Because I Charles Yamin Koso. Oria Yami Aduma ye medium tanichi din and can be also mebuano in whatever way I can, because I feel say the people of Nkranza North deserve obi to say
Charles Owusu.
Reverend Charles Owusu.
I see.
Having said so, Mamincha Republic of Gambaga for an anopi. Mati say enena ora Dr. Bawumia ebefa ho. And Republic ho de ukwa surunko na odru hoso a obehu say no, indeed it's a republic on its own. Na media I always say the people of Northeast generally yen so say yetimi yenyina yeboa na yetimi epija sa region no kodru pempen so bia ebe krabehwe. And I'm sure say in the fullness of time Ghana for behu Nyoma Srunko a ewo sa region no enkankan Gambaga ni Larigo and then the entire constituency.
Tourism.
Yes, very important. What him say? Yes. Nana obakai social studies. Jesus, okay bibia na Gambaga escapement no. Okay.
Me kai kakra.
Oh, because Yambo Huderu, we have not built tourism around this important
rich heritage.
Rich heritage, any this important topography no. Ama nkrofu bibri kra omo kan social studies say akra omo kai Gambaga but omo shada kai why omo sua bibia ba Gambaga. And I am saying say yen mebunu no, we are going to invest our energies and our resources to making sure say Gambaga and its environs abe krabeshe.
Okay, that's it. Atik Mohammed. And 72 million that table so no pay. Menim say o parking kind party. Eden Justice William Atuguba, yes, she retired. And a Jachi question.
Yeah.
Menim say parking kind.
Oh, I read the speech.
And
very interesting delivery. Very interesting speech.
7 or 8 days to proper showdown, depending on how you count it.
Yeah.
7 or 8 days. It in some way, you know, any SMT that may pronounce one no pay. It will be the one which means the pay account. Minimum be officer will free.
I will just speak to briefly about presidential primacy. Any or to speech now deliver, and then it will be may become a very important issue. Be that borders on Frontiers Healthcare Services. And in some summer, but
Ansana Bashasi and ya papa honorable Kwame Nabatels, former Works and Housing Minister under President Kufuor, when you're in your soon 76.
Wow.
So happy birthday to him from Bernard Alote Jacobs. I'll say he is forever indebted to Honorable Kwame na Bartels. Inti honorable Yama Utinkwa, happy 76th birthday to you. Uncle Lotte say Odawasi, the Wayama Nina Neniso. Yeah, I think.
Me say, my say, Emza Minu Eba could be a semi-chair so, or a lawyer. In fact, if you ever find yourself in trouble, a soft friend, your friend Nana or Heniba, or a lawyer, or much members know airport residential area, and now no piece of me channel. Media presidential primary CD, Emza, Ejebu, Emza, Enyano, or Yabidru. Now, omo campaigns, before the various candidates, but I think the contest is just between two people. I told you because I even forget say there are others involved. I mean, with all due respect to the other two contestants, but let me say, Duduana Abejina Nipa Mienu so. Until Sameka omo campaigns, I am referring specifically to these two contenders. Mi pache Owura Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ene Owura Ken Ejepong. Na let me say in the last few days campaigns shikakra. The showdown is manifesting in different forms. And media have always made this point say, look, Sa contest or Mokwe is a means to an end. It's not an end in itself. Omu pre senebeya party for beji omatum. Senebeya ombetimi etu frankano ediama omama yukuno. Nti becoming, I mean, this contest is not to make you the president of the Republic of Ghana, but is to entitle you to stand in a much bigger contest. Nti woni ye ukasa any the way you relate to party for any Ghana 42 very important and would have telling effects on the way the main campaign will be waged. Nti etodebia we forget say I mean when we are doing internal processes they are just means to an end. We sometimes forget say ye pese edi enkodru pempenzo bi ansana ya kokun ekonkese no. Some easily get consumed by the heat and by the you can say excitement of the campaign into thinking say this is the ultimate. Nti omu kan sembia ense so omu kan omu ye no bia ense so omu ye, because whatever you do today kan hu ni say ochine bi ye be kai o ene ye wo internet abreso ne obeke bia gets recorded, so pese papa cry am entimi papa. Nti anybody doing this campaign needs to be mindful of the things you say, the allegations you level, the way you relate to party for and your colleague contestants very important, because at the end of the day uluzu and now we near hear the support of whoever you ran the elections against and now you contested with and that is very important. And I've always said it doesn't make sense to spend a lot of your campaign time trying to do reconciliation when you could avoid when you can avoid circumstances a bit to me reconciliation are difficult. When you run a clean campaign, an issue-focused campaign, it will be easier to attract contenders, and other people who are not necessarily even involved in the contest. But if you reduce it to other things other than issues and other than Nyoma officer, it becomes about individuals. It becomes about near obi and near obinya. At the end of the day, we say things sometimes that are very hurtful. And politics we can and a healthy unyonko in any contest, Can when is there is somebody else standing by OT and Wokano. And this is the time our opponents will be looking for arsenals to arm themselves in readiness for the main battle. And I'm not sure it is in the interest of anybody and any political party for members to be arming your opponents with arsenals in 2024 and Miss Ressa, they should heat needed to be when people are in the moment they say things, and the mark of a good leader is to try to restrain yourself even when you are in the heat of the moment. Otherwise, when you become the leader that you desire to become, not just say we can't be sure. Say when you are under pressure and when you are overly excited, you can still keep your actions in range. Now, by and large, I think Yenti say Ntokobiesi will be, I think by and large it's been peaceful, aside the sometimes very hot utterances, and very, if you wish, hard-hitting utterances. Otherwise, say ye kuntoko waha ye kunto de immediate menyesho say matibie, and they should maintain sa enu to the end. But on the day of the election, media me wo adisidre me I expect say all players must heed. Omuya, I'm sure the process will end peacefully and everybody will be happy. At the level of the party executives, they should not give any idea. And so that would give anybody a cause to suspect, say, Omu ye bibi the abu obi. Because we are sana, Sabi, you are not helping Nipana. If you give any impression, say, oh, the bua obi. People are looking for every and any cause to rebel. And to do not give them that. The way do it according to the rules you yourselves have set. So that your elections now be anti say, oh, your contest, party paying for say that came across as favorable to one candidate and the other. Oh, it becomes difficult to build reconciliation. But the way you set the rules, you stick to the rules, Senipano all lose, is not happy crana. On to me in Kase, ye chinchim minsan or moji. Ebi, the person would go home and nurse his wounds. But on to me in Kase, ye chinchim minsa. And it says, Sebi. Ajumboni kra, bi ajumboni bi kra woni timwa. Because you did your work diligently, On to me in Yashri, because there would be no justification for it. Now, on the day, so, when himself supporters, everybody would want to show, say, media. Kuma your candidate money winning, they need to be measured. And Tokwa Sutro, look, this is just a peaceful contest. Utu abani yako baby. If you feel say obi ye bibia enem rano etiam rana, just draw the attention of authorities. Let them deal with it. Do not assume the power of the law, and do not assume say because we are a supporter of candidate A or B, obetime kuntokana mano. Let the authorities deal with it. Because on 26th, even though generally, like if you are going to rate, it was generally peaceful and all of that, but you had some isolated incidents, and I think, say, learning from that, you can prevent even one isolated incident. You can try to be as close to perfect as possible, because you have history as a guide. What is here? Nti omunhwe ni omuye ya ema ni esi na no esi they should make sure say they don't create room for that to repeat itself, because enun ebi mujina so taking decisions be me sure say party ni yanka they wouldn't have taken those decisions. Do not create room. People, look, if you've contested an election before, and I'll share this with you, me call no elections, I mean lose. There was this urge to create a splinter students union, and the expression was that Uko Zimbabwe, they have 2 student unions. What is here? And the inspiration, and we first said, look, Nipano Winnie, that's how myself and my team felt. Nipano Winnie, the Sebi. It was due to the influence of external forces, as if for. Until why don't we create a splinter group and see if we can get Nkrofubi and have a parallel students union? But now I say it's not a dream. What would be the effect of that on the general student struggle? Because you'd have who creates a parallel group now? The politicians, they will deal with this one. At the end of the day, there's no coherence, there's no unity, and the student front would collapse. And Yaka said, painful as the defeat was, let's make progress and let's move on. Until everybody will lose elections, especially if you've invested so much in our election. Losing an election you've invested so much in, and that form. Until you are always looking for an excuse to create a situation of confusion. What has here? And do not give whoever has invested in this election, that's we will lose you an opportunity to create confusion. What has here? Anti penyinfo mon hwe say if there's any complaint from any candidate say BBC AC send people, let them find out what the truth is for and deal with it. So that at the end of the day, nipa no lusu kra na eben ya, but the person would have felt say, look, I fought a good battle, but party for na catch me say enya mimre ni ntimi nya abutre. The person, there are times you lose and you're happy, not because we lose you, but the processes are leading to loss. You know, I ran when I was with the PNC. I lost my first run at becoming general secretary against Bernard Mona. For the first time, I lost 33 votes to him. When you have 437, I'm here 403. And I knew how much work I had done. But I was like, look, we're not incumbent. And if you understand Yamike, there were other considerations that worked in his favor. What I say? If I tell you when I got to Congress, no, you will say, what I say? But at the end of the day, oh, I'll tell you off. What I say?
But that's me.
And so, Mrs. But at the end of the day, the votes I got, even though I was sure say me winning, I was like, no, I fought a good battle against an incumbent with no resources and so on. Until there are times you lose, but the processes were fair to some extent. Until I was like, okay, this was a good fight. I live to fight another day. And indeed, the next time, no, some felt say, or Babiema Obelusu, until he skipped the general secretary position of Kobe, and it was a field day for me. What I say? Until sometimes you lose, but you feel say, I fought a good battle. If the processes are famous to do it, no, do not give you a reason to suspect say Obi a BBT out. And I don't think that it's in the interest of the party executives to do anything. After all, Ushen Yekosia is obvious. Until, like I said, Obi Pekwine, and now everybody contests an election, Olusuya would find a way to say, you are me, you cheating me. But Ushen Yekosia, like I said, is between two people. Ken Ebon Humodin, but me GDN say Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia would win eventually. But Ken will put up a good fight. What I say, because the campaign, no, but eventually, you know, my belief and my conviction is that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia would win. Do not give whoever loses an opportunity to rebel and to create chaos. 2024 is not an election the MPP wants to go into with a broken home. In fact, it is difficult as it is because Bakwe Frim and Ayedia or the Nkrofuki to be me who say or there are some other key MPP people on Modinichi. Or Musufan Krasa Nipa Tente and the Diomichi is one vote can make a difference. In Ghana, what we use is called the droop quota, 50 plus 1. So plus 1 who could be anybody. What has here? Until everybody is important. Until media near Mesra and say, and I listened to Honorable Ken yesterday, or say Olusua. There's nothing to show. Say, he would declare his support for whoever wins, and he expects other candidates also or winner. That process is near Finchima. They should declare support for him, which means that there is that readiness to work together. Everybody wants to feel say the processes were fair and just. And the party paying for Ejumano, look. Majority and a greater percentage of the responsibilities on party executives to give that impression of just and fair, you can say, administration or conduct of this election. Anything less than that, anything that is shy of this, can create problems for the MPP. Now, showdown, I pray that the showdown should be in votes, not in physical actions on the day of the election. So, now, Omuya, Yendi Waha. We'll do an analysis of the post-election, and we can take it from there. Now, but
for more hour of gratitude, no, say munim say redemption hour, nyame eyaduma baso hour of gratitude. This time round, today hour of gratitude. It is under the redemption hour. Mo amunim da and the munim se don hwere ba ko a ye de ebo empire na yesere onyankopon adom the Church of Faithful Ministry ewo Dansoman control down Dansoman control down and odesa hour of redemption aba it was say ya fantu munyina monim se nyame eyadoma hour of redemption asan edu so enwumre no nsia pepepe se Peter ene enwumre ya no nsia pepepe ewo Dansoman control down hwa na bibia asset ewo ho akukudam so ena eba mesaya ka ho asema kire ho hour of redemption hour this evening there no hour of gratitude intimation so Dr. Ogofu.
Yes sir.
7 or 8 days to show down.
Anyway, been my imagine said they will show up.
Will show down.
Sir. Okona koto abamana. They just will show up.
Okay.
Amano. Ti sane be my imagine do na. Na me nyame adoma me korono me na si kwa so maji leave. Maji leave be 7 days. Shasi ene te me ko na makotena se kurom na makohwe mpani na ahobo aya ye bia to abatro no ma me tie atiki enra chairman of the elections committee Professor Right Honorable Professor
Michael
Kokrokoo one Bruce Sahine ne mpani ne Electoral Commission for nominee adishai tinkuta huni muno odi atudwa so se Electoral Commission for yedi dwumadi ne be hye so nim se omuye omadwuma yie papa nti yeso omunya ne sa eman omumomodina se omubeye adwuma no wabra hwehwani mu bia animu na se de ekoye bibia akota obi achi wotu saafo no nti yesa atik de atoso. Honorable Hackman Usazuman. So on chairman, me offer. My uncle, on chairman for Council of Elders. Our party no. On also the Atuja. Say party penini leadership or party will be anhwe. Say Jumediano bia koyina nim nkoye bibia to say ota obi achi ana wo boa obi. And also atika kana no pay. Enti kamia say nyina sa na agyenkyere na I'd say kana so do nim dame to ye wa makrom imre dani dame no esinipa mienu na so so na wo wa kwa onya akroma mienu na ode hoho mema nti wo na wo kire dame no so e be den pa se wo kire no wo ba wo so na madame na ka agum
can be
na hme
can be
dame ne siripa mienu na so
one atiki na so nesi
me ni cardinal so me no na me hwe ni yes I need to that
atiki na ben o
me na no hwe ni mu say ni to dame
because me si me no na so wo be hwe agu meche
etino wo akwa akroma mienu ana ade hoho memei ti wo kire nyaza
meche
ebedi pa se kadna wo a wo kura akroma mienu a wo be wo so na madame na ka agum timpempie no nia ye ho me mana me ye luso ahwe ya na se de me ye me na yie no na dame na ka agum na ni na afra anuti bibia ye de be boss adwumadie ho ban ne de babo ho bra ne be hyase asumdwe mu boko ntutue ne nyina be kwa akoduru ne wi a obia te ne ho ase ade bia ya na me kan de ho aho ame ho ene minuanom a na ka me ho titiru regional minister Simon Osemensa honorable me manachia no pay wo ka Ashanti regional elections na mu na hyehyehye pa the elections committee na Ashanti regional minister na chairman and me secretary and the other members
wontumi koka betumi ai
kwan ya ye fa so a ye hyehyɛ batoɔ no ne adeɛ ni nyina obia wo be de open asem ana de opeso woni nanso as a committee no kwan ya ye fa so a ye hyehyɛ de mani nyina ne adeɛ ye to wie ye no wotizo obi ka so obi awia obi Ye din. Te say the atiki kan. Obi e nu abakwa abato abedi nkugu a ebe ye ode. Na emum say opportunity or horses say wutimi ka say the way they akoye yasisi me ayem say ya. No nature say ihihye no na ankoye. But where kugu aba na nso aye kom na. Okay, what was that? I think 18th August or so. 2015. I lost primaries.
Hey,
in Bantama.
Daniel Chamabwadi.
That's it.
May he so rest in peace, yeah.
Yes. Number call Parliament 110. Once.
Hey, yes, or chem the cars are bad or the taxis are bad. Hey, Moses Mayibu.
Yes.
Nada na mo crash can be good. I am my is can be na mo koko tugu ya na mo bezu.
I can't. What's the candidate pa? Me hear that obey ye free was soon abakwa kujira.
Me dey men go bi.
Ungo. Obeti techiri say ya.
Me pepe me wana.
Obeti techiri say ya.
Me pepe me wana.
No di hu kobo kwa.
Pacho me pepe me wana.
Akrobo di account is akom. Won kra da me sit down abakwa. But that is won kra akom.
Mo di me hu mari ana mmobo pa.
Ana yes.
Obeti na we say party executive bi. I say Oba no tin come no roll in glass. No as what me hwe pass akwa we pa George odi kokofu atemu yi. Sanya politics pa dikagwo yi. Oba twe gina baba en maka di okay.
Ka na ya ka kire me say. MP kokofu eni pa bone papa. That's why I dey. Sika obecha mai odi akoye komfo anoche war the year females war.
Confanochi is in the constitution.
Confanochi,
Bantama, a seat of
females war D5.
D5.
Let's kind of cram confan away. A yesika, dear mammy as MP, 7 high dying. Let's just my co-parliament, the Wako and I, your most gas for high dying. It is S can already be obeyed. And I'm invested S can all. They shall see a camera boy in was about those days, I think 120,000. But scanner about 69,000. Timide ko shasi oho. Say my adopt ward na me dey na kakra. See adan na ma me chase na say scan so crash also wo cha that time no delegates no dodo no and say scan kro obi enu obenya more than 200 Ghana cedis. It's one of my major charges. And he say scan man cha ma delegates dem mo me dey akoye Confanochi Ward D5 ye.
Jomi se MP kokofu no.
Yes, we pa boni ye betu no kwa bia so. Ampa kwa bia so wo mutu me. Nawu.
In fact say we a doctor.
Enti kura no wo mu a boss apo na boa e wo ma boa me yiye. If he say that me lusu prime minister me free Kumasi bedu nkran na the next place I me call ye University of Ghana. Now me can apply for PhD because the next 4 years me call parliament view. Enti me wo bra me ti me de. Eno na ma me call ye PhD. Environmental science. And afa assign ma me niam ahodo bi. Dia ne metimi aye me a lawyer by profession, so consultancy. That time me a lawyer, oil and gas law.
Chairman Kokofu.
Yes.
But me kai chairman Kokofu she MP Kokofu.
Yeah. Because when the chairman it me no. So na me a chairman of polling station. And na me delegates ya kai my ya da no me share home dem catch so be amuti.
Na order.
Na tena ho a twem ho. Asana me be electoral area coordinator. Asana me be chairman no.
Bantama chairman Kokofu.
The chairman no mu na no.
No tam de na guy mum.
Sao Obama kiredu echina me no de me program echina obeti so to ma me free kubase na ye wa kada wa da de ba so me ka we nyina de a kire se party adwuma ye ne pepa so betu hu asi wo se wo besom no efri akomam ne fri adwenem na emom ne odi to me ne ma wo no ana wo ma di to me ne ma no omu na wo final decision wo betumi awo aka wonsempa bia wo betumi awo akoma pa bia One 2 minutes kuta on catch on say yeah farmer. That's it. Yes, I think we know your sometimes processing will be flawed and I say or how about processing. It will be the office no can be named Kuguaba. Na no mumpo no nyina numpo no. You are be a friend of the bigger picture. Ujine abusuakuo no ho odo a wo ma abusuakuo no the political party. Ne nkanko. It has been proven. Say Kokrokoo MP or chairman or MP or Bantama. Ebru bi no onye MP biu. Bantama constituency tiase. New Patriotic Party ye adwuma tiase o. So it means say nyansa ne nimdie ni ba akufo tirim. Ana akonwa no so du na ye prayer. Eye niwa ma obie niwa we entitled say chinchine nchina ono na esu odi akonwa no. Anu ti ne nya bre esi nkonwa na ye frefra afoforo no ne mu ba kire won adwen. Nansa na beba sa no utu anamon ko won ho ani won kodi nkutu. There's one particular thing. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the vice president. Can na win him say, we are sending him tie akwankwa am timbe be dwene me. Papa nan kasa a year ago. Etutu ni nemu ba bi amewo. Be catch them say, CEO Ogovu, my imagine say me contest ni bi, I will need your support. Say, vice na na suma me frɛ me na kan komo bi o say no. Won so uye nipa you deserve say me ba na so na me be srɛ wo me support. That single act mama kuma melty mama tirimu ye me de kyerɛ me say me nso so say ni patitiru bi so kura hu me say me nso me sebi fata enti me free me pem ene me nti asie mu ne ma adwene pom me politics kakra me nim ne amaye ene ne ameguso ameye ne dia daachi me pese meye anam se panin ne dia wo dia ama me nti ene awrehyiemu a wanya wo me mu nti me diwachi na wanam ntuo maboa na man ka kira afoforo bi no mu atumi kuta won to aba ne bi se me sere won kotodwe gbufom duru ha monhwe Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia vice president obetimi aye 1 ahobrase 2 nimde 3 nkutahudie papa ansa na ni nyina mu no oman ho do esan say amayokuo new patriotic party nti SSA de bia eno ne kankodi anim enti se ne kwabena mini ho a na anu na me ye chairman mini ho no say na mija party no mija no na mu atete ana no do mi free ho as MP no na Bantama constituency mija no to na sawra sa na e ka di se nyame ani monyam se da bida enunti odo no si ho ti ho besi ne party ne be domo na hye wani monyam na de wagina baabi party nso na obeka se da bi nyewu mreni nti twen kakra enti mesre kotodwe gufo anuanom na ekwa akansie nan ni nyina se fata obibia ye party ni ba mapa na delegates mon formani into form di obedi bema wonidie na obenya adaje atie ana waka na asmachiro no atie won susu na wa hye wo bose ye betua na mo na bom na o how bi mpo wo ho a ya pekwa pa na ya resolve sani pa no mamom ya ntoto nas Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia a demonstrate me medina chi akwa campaigns ni bebre sa bas na me offer say miracle ka ho asem bas matena mu a na bas no say nyame ye wadom na anya kwa atena mu a no west arc no me hu bidie na me ni ho but that is a bas no mu a
bibia wombi
we are secured
bibia wombi
no west arc is there for security
but na bibia so wombi
bas no
arc no
akino
sen ka odoje ho
Bas bibia wom bas no nsuo wom anwum wom na nipa nso so a ye nyina adwen kɔ bankrom wom oti ase ha na kekoye na ye nyina yegu bas na we ni hwe ha saka masum dwe ma bas
na solini
Solly Basino.
There's solidarity amongst
Solu
and
the solidarity
and solidarity amongst them.
Okay, Solu
like-minded.
Solly no.
Solly Ben a Wookie.
They are okay na.
I will see my woman say. Cardinal her name said they met you.
I mean here you offer.
Premier. Na me say. Me boa Dr. Mahmoud Baumia campaign. Nti me di nachi ana me bon to ama no na obi foforo nso so wo kwan so no nso di candidate foforo achi na onua no benya kwan a okasa no akoka se omu edi Dr. Baumia achi appointees ni nyina ya to wo mu ya ma wo mu sika ne ya hwepu wo mu in line unhu se eye kasatia nanso obi ti seme eno no yemfa nya asem ebe yi atwenchen enu ti obi a we delegate obi ka kirew afi no ka kirew ana obe ka kirew se obi a odi Dr. Mahmoud Baumiachi eye ono an selfish interest in na odi Dr. Mahmoud Baumiachi because opese obo ne position ho ban a no kure bi anim the appointing authority ono no obi omo obi adwuma no odanya ni kina no pa obetimi aka cha se maramfo betena fie atik besene ko she ho ana akoba bia cardinal ti na we mra enti we security of adwuma ye no enye o campaign akoya ma obi na in any case so wo ho kwan so wo de otimi di obi achi na bonto amana adenti na wo mfa sa ni die no so ma wonua fofra no so pesa no na adwenhwa ye yabusia ku nti sa ne ma no ye mfa nya asempo mimpa ebone se November 4th New Patriotic Party beko akoto aba Ashanti region na metomaba Kumase Bantama nkomodie ni nyina kokosi prekope se Dr. Mahmoud Baumia wo win na eno enye ade a eye medini pi victory next in the den mesre udo Dr. Mahmoud Baumia na udo New Patriotic Party ma wo kasa ne o celebration no bibia emra form a path of reconciliation atiki kan o se ehun hia sub impredias anya sanim so be say wo time bebre sa afi na akoka mo ho abom wa bra anka masase na no mana mo ntuo ne mo kasa ema titimu no enkoye dene bebrebe na mo ka mo ho abom ayede sa advice necessary fa wo wo candidate bedi nkunim the responsibility lies on you so wo be fra foforo bedi nkoguo no betwe wo aben wo aba enya de bia be pamo obi a wadi nkuguo achitaafo akọ that is not it na ya pen ade agora ye di pen adi ewia nyina ka bom ni asan tu anamompa nti momma yanya ne saa bere a ye wo mi na minim so nyame kan ye ho kwa bia so okokese da yanim December 2024 it is possible say Ghana for beka say e bribia mfie nwotwe abaya yesesa no yesesa atwe yenko achi kakra ana atwe achi koyachi pi sabra yewomi aso yanwene nkose aban ya wo hoi ana party a wa ba mu bebi a odo o man na beduru mfa ho ne wo hawa ye komuni ade sani da so wo ho na nhihye pa wo ho ne ma ne kwan ma ne toa so ko nanim mfie na edi yanim a die ne besie ene pa na beba ya no nkomodie ne Ghana fo bedi se Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia we ne primary si said ye nyina susu na mnim se inshallah edede eno no mu na chi no nhihye egu akwan mu ene niema ye betimi ade agu ho na asi pi na oman si kasem ne ntotoye ne oman chichire no bekọ na nim bie wo no ade a odi betudwa amanfo nyina be hu na amanfo nyina beti ne ho ana osoro ani beje na osoro bebose kana
over
ya bompa mai
mate honorable Dr. Henry Kokrokoo and our technical chief executive officer Environmental Protection Agency earlier no mate Atika Mohammed and so enka
yapon
Pacho Dabi and now by pow just and no me na buy offer Atik round 2 any other issue opposite Okano
me say anka meka Owura Justice Atukwe, but I think it's a running story and the major.
Okay.
There is this story via, I think it's more like a rejoinder by a company via from Frontier Health Care Services.
Airport for
Yes. I think their rejoinder has done more damage, and I personally feel even more incensed at their response than Oman Kashi no cry.
I think they are some.
Say when COVID-19 hit, and there was a need to do certain things at the airport and testing of travelers are no mobile or my emo. And companies be by and almost started to move. But you see, I am running the ejuma. Any idea lawyer for due process. And found tibia you se ube bibia ese e fano kwanso. Senebe at the end of the day, government will get value for money. Na ye dimra susu pepepe. Sa frontiers we. There have been allegations say they were not working with a proper contract. Niedi kaino. And secondly, and of course, events subsequent to those allegations naturally say difficult to even pinpoint where the contract is and who indeed signed the contract with our company. No? And there is also information say company only in 2020. Now say if we share a public procurement act now, it shows circumstances under which are like when there are emergency situations, kwanya first to the procurement, meboa. Now sometimes and the circumstances under which are so sourcing no near any kind emergency and near also when there's only a particular entity I was has specialized skills no and expertise and competence to undertake the task and new person we no but yenim said there are a lot of laboratories in this country omuyejuma enti it could not be say frontiers na was our expertise to undertake testing of travelers as far as COVID-19 testing was concerned. And yebisa Minister for Information say contracts when sign or yebisa Minister for Health. Or also nti there was a rigmarole nipa like Kokrokoo omoni sa company signing contract no. And recently
I sure saying
no unless you have that public information, I don't. Nansai, there was also concern about value for money. And in every public investment, idea you should always look out for is value for money. There was concern, say, government was shortchanged in the process.
Okay.
As I say, Sikana company nyaye no, kakre bi na ban nyaye. And if during emergency no, na ye tua sika to get those services, at least government should be making some good money from it. Until recently, there were allegations that aban enye sika no, and aban ya kituwe bi out of sasika pudu na as our company nyaye. And I'm sunti no modi rejoin the biaba. And I think the rejoin and cry is even look ignoring the fact that their choice of words fakwem. They refer to Kokrokoo who have raised these concerns as anti-people, anti-government, and they are mischievous, all kinds of
frontiers for
men can that out. You should read their rejoinder. It's in bad taste. It is terribly worded. What is here? And we should just their response is no cry ne kumino. Nedi kind of concern about say yenyanhu contract no. In their response to the award of contract, they've not been able to indicate to us say indeed there was a contract signed between Frontiers Healthcare Services, any Abine, and who the signatories were. All they have said they say in the face of COVID-19, any Abine desired to do testing, they submitted a proposal to Ghana Airport Company Limited. So Omudi Tio, Omanka said they signed the contract. So Omudi proposal Ekoma Ghana Airport Company Limited, and Airport Company Limited approved that proposal, and then they deployed machines to the borders.
So who
is that how it works?
Who asked them to possess the site?
What's it?
So on a Ghana Airport Company Limited, the proposal and command, and a Ghana Airport Company study proposal, and was here. Who okayed the transaction? Why the man?
Is there even a transaction? Who the proposal above said, "Oh, I've approved this proposal." And immediately, without any contractual agreement, you move to the borders. And I'm busy. It had to be Ghana Airport Company.
Why the man no possess site no in the first place?
I would suspect Ghana Airport Company because Omuno control airport. No.
Ghana Airport must speak to this.
Exactly.
They must give us the clarity.
They are refusing to speak because a journalist from one of the stations in Accra, Joy FM, their friend Raymond Akwa, wrote to them under the Right to Information Act. Requiring a production of the contract that entitled Frontiers to set up and to work in the airport. Onim said they refused to give because there's no existing from near Frontiers for Kra. There's no contract until they couldn't produce, and they asked for a week's extension.
So you know for a fact, sir, there is no contract.
There is no contract, otherwise we would have found it by now.
So now let's say that we are not privy to the existence of any contract.
That is the situation now.
Okay.
And I'm Sukrama RTI Commission no. I'm finding Ghana Airport Company Limited. Because they requested for Sebi. Muman kanokre. Se contract or why would producing such a document be difficult? After since February, the request was made in February. And ne ochina. Ekodru pempensuana. Atia Kacha say, you've exhausted all you can say opportunities to produce this. And asking for a 1 week extension, no, and no until they find them, even though they eventually granted the 1 week extension, no, but they find no 200,000. That tells you say something is amiss, and to the extent that ministers what the content of the contract is, who signed the contract and so on. It tells you that something is wrong. And Frontiers way more explanation. If you look at under the subheading, award of contract, Sanka, you would expect to see say a mention of a contract that was signed and who the signatories were. Oman can't say they signed the contract too. They merely state say Omo the proposal Ekoma GACL and Omo approve the contract proposal no, and then they moved to site. What be that? Ghana, you see anything to do with public procurement? What I say, and because yentimi who contract chrono, it is difficult for us to even say, sikana yesi omoji yeno, omuma abanka krano. It is because of the contract, because there's no contract for you to even speak to. Now, if there's an issue like this, now who will respond here? Okay, you choose words in a way.
Maybe we need to do a little check because Mekai said. Sir Jumakuo we are ne omusika sem ho asem bi by Emma your first health minister our parliament.
Yes.
Emma okoma breakdown bi. But men kaisa kan contractors. What I remember
they asked him about contract one Timianka. Okay. Or see here they should refer to the
maybe we have to refer to the
Minister for Information or see Uncle Bisa Minister for Health. And I didn't know any namsa and you cannot.
Maybe we have to look for
it is not for fun. Until Nayedi Procurement Act by and to the extent said this is a company that did not have prior experience. Now so in their response they claim said this is a company with cutting edge expertise in laboratory testing. Meanwhile, that company was founded only in the year COVID-19 is here. No?
Maybe are not a subsidiary.
Debbie.
Okay.
There's no indication of any subsidiary. They are not a subsidiary of any major company. I think say
my engineer say fanka running stories no ho.
Okay.
Now from now till maybe next week na be share no. Ye nyina enhwehwe.
Well,
okay,
right now there is a petition before the OSP. I was actually thinking of doing same, but it's like Obidia Kodada. I think that there should be multiple agencies doing an investigation on this matter.
And I make us say, until from now to next week, if there is a petition before the OSP, let's also go after that.
Yeah.
Then one of the things let's also go and look for the Hansard from Parliament the day the minister went to Parliament.
Appeared very well.
Yeah, documents.
I mean, these are all documents.
Yeah. For intents and purposes, a beer. Now document be and then we may argue.
See, the only document that would speak to these issues air contract.
That's what I'm saying.
And it doesn't exist. Nobody has been able to produce it.
For now, let's assume that we have not seen it until you are only assuming. And today, no,
of course.
By the time we come back, by the time we come back next week, we'll be able to speak authoritatively to say, ampa. Contract be anyhow, and our contract.
You see, the only way you can speak authoritatively to the existence or otherwise of a contract, and they say, Obidi mra kwanso atra mamu. Say if there's a contract, produce it.
I think I say next week contract.
Matthias here, but I just wanted to say, if you are debunking allegations that people have raised not out of malice. But they feel there are so many questions surrounding this, and the mamin kind of mobile no.
That be a free consultation. You better can want some next week in 2 days.
Mati,
save your energy. Why? Save your energy. Mamin, Mr. Wolfers was asking. Over.
Yeah. I was here go school now reading. Reading. Yeah, can there. O can book we are can come here.
Can come here. I can be.
Now. Titi Roman for Kokrokoo for me. Horatio ni Horatio.
And the mankind.
So it I am you watching. Go even to do aqua baby.
A trainee safwa.
What's it?
A trainee safwa.
Aha. Kana we me pauchewa
anakwesi basashia de
we no nya de a metimi aka ho asem pi meka de mo de mai tui.
Okay.
Imminent jurist ne
metiase
the statement, but good for academic work. Student of law.
Okay.
And because critique when him say one kasa wa wait me a pass judgment wa wait me a criticize in time with the passage of time a critique in the I see it that way.
Okay.
But then nyadwin to the point say I say scandalous no how the but a brain him me person meka EPSM na maka akosumo spillage no kakra.
Okay.
So mama kwaya
akwanda ho.
Yes, over page 35 of Ene Daily Graphica. Page 35, we both say actually BB HDG Homes scoping notice. A part Airport City Kumasi project. A part of EPA. A processor a day a juma. And our procedure the first way a juma nibi. Sa scoping notice here say ye bodawro ama manse nyina ate. Se adwumakuo HDG Homes. Why na adwen say obeye project bi a ye frɛ no Airport City Kumasi project. It you see Kumasi Airport na wo baabo say signpost so adan kese bi ni ade wo ho. Ohun say wo kɔ bia ase kwan no ya dwi ho ni nyina tu nkrofo afiri ho. It omu be develop ho. Na ya de sa notice yi ba sebe ya public no obia wo adwimpo bi wo susie bi se sa project no e ba affect o na wo concern bi wo mu no e so ma ya sote na wo concern e say ye environmentally based enti ye stakeholder engagement any ade we nyina ye de ba enti mesratiefo bribia newspaper mu hu sa advert no scoping notice a director so wo bibia or how be fast project and adwumadie no ho a the executive director in this case wo Kumasi nti Ashanti regional office wo Kumasi no so ha me kan no wi a na me kan asre na no so kra me be kan reverend be ka se metuaka proponents. You can proponents so EPA can not what you say.
But the minimum.
Yeah, you know, proponents and one client and one customers.
Okay.
Despite media, we are proponents and I'm a client. But so you free honey upon send if ye. Man, Quadani Vian Cratanum, Samuye mu EPA permit, mu renew ya. Momo Tiana Mon, Namumra. Environmental Protection Agency, the Mbafa process, Sinum, the BBA near day at church, consider be our self foot will be a while yet the Bema. Namum regularize it. I mean, say media, multimedia, dear, my. Now, what would ye?
Despite media.
Despite media, my yes, that's password card. Now, more mutie, any more moshe, yes, Remo, moon train, my EPA. You make penny form to become a hawk. Now, a banner be administrative charges in the day. Nina a cat, a mammo. Well, 2 and more bra. Ubia, wo Mompatom ha kunyina ya regional office, Accra West regional office. Ewo Amasaman. Accra East regional office, ewo Tema. Ya hunu se emu twetwe dodo. Enu nti ya de niam agu akwan mu a ye satellite offices enche ebebeba na abemu service no will come closer. Uba head office nso a ye wo ministries anu so betimi abe transact o business. Sa na regions akani nyina your offices wo bia and your area offices wo takwa oda oboase kononwo nti yesremo eye de ubo a ehu hia ye ye be hye da ba abetua hu sika no maboda euro na ma ye
mo ma ne nche
me ma ne nche kura se me office Reverend Kwame Amune kwadwonu mo ho de o be ya ama me eno na chi no yenya ntie se sentroni bi ana sentrofo bi ade bibia agu mframa mu se o makohunu EPA cars mono a egu obi fie eye maako du 9 ewo voter region mpatomu ho na anu mu kwa akoso mu ho ni o makohunu na EPA asenso de ewo ho aba me notice enura pani ba ko ba me ho ebe ka kire nti yenhwehwe mu a ya ye kyese ye ni cars bia sa a akodi baabi na in fact ye kura ye hia cars no mo enu ti ye car bia ni baabi a na emom de wo mu ni se far back 2014 adwumakuo bi private entity se one Ministry of Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation sabre no ebedi nkutaho wo dwumadie bi na as part of niema necessary adwumakuo no de ba ebeye adwuma no na vehicles ka ho even as at na ye ke kura brand no kura oni antimi afa amaye say pickups den car bay ini na sa adwumakuo no de sa cars ne bai 2015 ana Mesty sabre no ene adwumakuo no eto nkwanta pae enti adwuma na antimi anhya ase na esanse Mesty EPA she Mesty asinti no na Mesty sabre no susu se EPA na be implementing agency ene adwumakuo no enti omu ehye no nso no adwumakuo no asenso de ho na EPA so asenso de ewo cars no na asem na kodi court since 2015 omun ka ho asem nwie enu ti no na cars no asenso de ne ade no wo ho nti me kan ama obi ate sentroni a okohunu ya dana papa se ya mpase ya de pa bi ayira anko adomyen ame hu na we de enye ye de a impo manso no kura ekoso no kura ye nka ho enim mu bi nti eno no na asempa wo ho nso ne se na anu o mampani na na danko akufu ado na daoma o ma kwan se EPA yadwuma no mu atre ya ma ehomne so na your responsibilities no adoso your mandate se betimi ai enti through the sector minister your team ato vehicles brand new about 45 atego bin sida enti one Land Cruiser na soldier for the police for use be no mining for the robust one no eto trooper no to maako 25 and pick up so 20 na last batch na bedu 19 nti sa report yi ba ekura na me machine say eno na nyanoa nti ho ayen saka no be my monitoring any compliance adwuma no apija ne mu enu ti na ye sre se unia uwa na montuo bi to comply with the environmental regulations in area esese oma yasote mamen call spillage na no spillage ba
aka 3 minutes on pesa obajime de atie o de twen
o san amana
Honorable Sam Ayepe, as for this one, Kokrokoo is your proponent, so he should come and do the needful. Wow, ni Ayepe na kai. Eti baja ka 2 minutes.
Honorable. Yes, akosomo spillage. Asem ne ba na no, ye at Environmental Protection Agency. Ye papa ye nkrata. Ko hwe ampa VRA omu friend dey. Almost filed, say, almost comply with all the necessary arrangements. However, Jumedie ne de how aba. Safo na call how na ye ma won kuse. Na aban na so aban atu ababekuo da interministerial committee no. Me di ho adanse trodododo senhihye bia egu akwan mu ebeboa. Amasafo no be free or how ne ahokyerem de edikai matise binu sina aban de ehunu de aban every state institution say ye Ghana Health Service ye Ghana Education Service ye EPA ye whatever Ghana Gas NADMO VRA itself and amontuo bi omutu bia no won ye no in the name of government if you say aban hihye any adenas winyina bio NADMO and coordinating all these activities ote district assembly for na so nti DCs ne NADMO mpenifo what that particular affected district no won na coordinate niema no within mpenifo aye committee na ye in such a way say o ma decentralize relief items ne nhihye ne ade a ebeboa Ghana Education Service edi niema agu akwama nkwada on suku ko ho ato ape no jishaya on the beboa Ghana Health Service mobile clinics nomine nro nipa behia isa aqua taps ayedi tu nsuo mu ni ade CCA testing for quality water ne quality ni said ye Ghana Water Resources eguso enti yen at Environmental Protection Agency yene ye papa MESTI ye Ministry of Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation yanso ya famidi ewo mu bia yegusu ayeye na more of monitoring the environmental effects in yade enti amanfo nya abotre asem ne basa de edikan no de na nipa bedie de na nipa ebehye na hin na nipa di ni trebeto eno ne the first intermediate first action and intervention na nimu no afi nsuo no ba betwetwe na akofom ne ade saafo no san ba won chi ana on ba won chi adan a ahodwohodwo ana yese die kwa be ne efa so enu ye intermediate and san a long term projects now we are making a Ministry of Information and a lead sa information ni nyina nti brepamu no omde ba beto abontia ma amanfo ahu ana monpa abentuo na memfa so na ankorankorafo so ase ye nsore nwumakuo num ne ade odo a ya kire de ama ye ho as Ghanaians nti omampani wadahoma ye do asene akwankire pa eni hye pa odi agu akwan mu na yenum so a ye oba adwuman ye chefe wo mu yenso yegu so a ye
me so me da wase
kadna na mase na menwe
we
to abi msraw
sifam na menko
was it my birthday there
I Bates honorable Kwamna Bates
I ram ni shia o jubilee no I share white and I was an brand here na papa uncle de nyame ase for another year kadna
offer
for time on out there.
So when I na King Edward boy ye ma won't asie no time bebre ba me dey ma wo ti here man charge we I say for time na there mafa I think mafa ma dey why
nanka me been trinkwa anti fosti COP anti fosti
oh yeah
first na Ando Kofi
oh
commissioner of police CID
ma and no pay ma trinkwa
the baby ana
Debbie, she's been promoted now. She's
a full commissioner of police.
Commissioner of police.
And
ma and I no pay me ma drink kwa. Me pemre na ma becha office.
Martin me no law school.
Interesting.
My idea.
And I be mamincha doctor. In fact, COP Dr. Garba, Accra Regional Commander. Ono se na no pay me.
A strong man.
Fantastic policeman.
Echna me nua be ma Benedictus Zaja. We're one of the producers for Live Truth, Live Catholic on United Television. Benedictus Aja Ochana Eye Wawoda Ben. Happy birthday. Advance one say Echana Nyame ya adum na se ba na wa enjoy kama but air party no e ma remfi say wo fa pani me soso me wo ho na wa ye ni hia ene ne e fata Wendy Eurabna Adoma Esiedu Oko School of Family Life International School or also Wawoda Wendy Eurabna Adoma Esiedu also school our Family Life International School also Wawoda or class 3 o ma me PSC Esther or say o ma utinkwa pa nyame inshira na bibia enye kama emma afei blessed birthday to Lady Pastor Naomi Adae, Registrar at Kaswa Circuit Court and First Lady of World Palace International, Ewo Soutium, Free, Ukunodo for Apostle Chief Adae, General Overseer, WPI, and Oma, any Busiani na Mames of War, Yangopon Inshra, Nabibia, so, enye kama, emfa, emma, eti, Monso so at Moko Redemption R, no, Moko Redemption R, Faithful Family. Faithful Family abusunya ku kese mo a moko redemption ni nyina ese efantom anim se nyame eya adom a ene anwumre nyame ya adom ene anwumre ya mo be call hour of gratitude hour of gratitude eho ena anwumre mu be hia ewo Faith Life Ministry enti mo so mo nhyanenso afei Paul Abredu Fidelis, we are head pastor Faith Life Ministry. Happy birthday, Papa Sofo. Reverend Paul Abredu Fidelis, our head pastor, our Faith Life family. Also so happy birthday to you. Nyankopon count Nafi bibia esi wani so enye yie emfa emma bibia utie yen ena no pa bia yedamo ase mejina team ni nyina na mu Dr. Father Dixon Kennedy Asante o say sofo akudwa Asante Stephen Bafo Peter Spa Isaac Opoku Pretty Joyce na madamu nyina ase na otwi menuanom na omo ewo flip side omo ba behwe eboa ye ma bibia ekọ kama na ya akonedu mama Africa odi ahenkan kwame yeboa maami bia makwafa akosu agwa ye ohene na kwame amo ena na poso hima adwoa yeboa eji ya frame nana ya kese wetimi aframe the card na metrem ma chairman general kwame sefa kan nyame eya adoma dwoada ye besan ehia na yatoa esom no so sabre die Kofi Kumbels and the Royal Baby ene motna akwa kopimse premo ebeto amakase bono aba the radiation due ejamu nyina makram.
The exhibition of the voters register 2023 is here.